had given me steroids, cortisone shots, wore a boot, did exercise, used a TENS unit, used another pain management thing. This had been going on for about a couple of years, and was trying everything I'd heard that anybody mentioned that would help with inflammation. Well, my sponsor, Denise, had sent me information about the Plexus products, and I just kind of blew her off and just ignored them until I read another friend who had mentioned that ease helped with inflammation. Well, I was trying anything that helped with inflammation. So I called Denise and I said, tell me about this ease. I have got to find something that'll help me. And at that time, I was having trouble walking around Walmart. I would stop after halfway around the store because I would be in pain, either from the pain of my foot or a nerve pain that I had in my upper legs from, I guess, from sciatica, and where it would start tingling and burning and going numb. And so I would have to find places to sit down in Walmart because I couldn't even walk all the way around the store. So I started with the ease and the nerve the end of October, 1st of November, about a year ago. And within a couple of months, I'm noticing I'm getting, I'm not in the pain I was in. I'm not hurting as much. So about Christmas time, or right after Christmas, I called Denise and I said, I'm ready to try something for the weight loss because I needed to lose a lot of weight. And I'll tell you in a minute what I've done with that. But I started my weight loss products. She said, you need to try the Triplex. So I started the Triplex in January, around January 6th of this year, of 17. And within a week, I noticed I'd lost a little weight, and I really wasn't even trying that hard. And I thought, well, gosh, if I can lose this and not be trying, what can I do if I really try? So I started really watching what I was eating, and still using the ease and the nerve and the Triplex. So I was still using all those products and just started losing weight. I noticed, I guess it was around the end of January, I had not had to use the TENS unit at all, and I couldn't remember when. It was like, I haven't been using the TENS, and if you're not, the TENS is the electrical impulse that helps with pain. My husband had a unit because he had back issues, and so I borrowed his for my foot and was using that because I was in so much pain. But I noticed I had not been using it. I thought, I can't remember. It's been a few weeks since I've even had to use the TENS. And it just kept getting better, and I wasn't using the other pain management thing that I wore around my calf, and pain was getting better, wasn't in the pain. Well, fast forward a little about March, I was still losing weight. I was averaging at that time around 10 pounds a month. Around the middle of March, I had a friend who had some surgery, and she needed help walking her dogs. And so I had started walking. When I first started walking, I couldn't even do maybe a third of a mile. That was it. So I started helping her walk the dogs, still wasn't walking much more than about a half mile, maybe a little over a half mile. As she got better, she started walking with me, and she is a very health conscious and exercising. And she always walks, works out, and she's 80 years old. And you think that from the way she gets around better than a lot of 30-year-olds. She is that active. But she got me to walking, and first time I went walking with her, we walked about 1.2 miles. And I know because I went back and measured it, because I went, God, we must have walked 5 miles. And but it was only 1.2 miles. But I was able to walk, and which I had not been able to do in months. And I started walking and adding to that, each time I would push myself a little further. Now I'm walking around 3 miles in the morning, a little over 3 miles. And then I usually go back in the afternoons and do another mile, a little over a mile. So I'm averaging around 4.5 miles a day. Where before, a year ago, I couldn't walk. I could barely get around Walmart. And I was wearing a boot, using a night splint, doing exercises, doing steroids, doing cortisone, and none of it would help. Trying the turmeric, I was drinking it as a tea. And anyway, the rest of the story is I have now hit 90 pounds that I've lost since January with Plexus. I'm excited about it. It's just a miracle. I mean, talking about total change in life, and it really has for me. Won the Leaders Retreat, and made it to Leaders Retreat a couple of weeks back, and was very excited about that. So Plexus has been a total life changer. I know money-wise, I'm doing all my products are paid for. Everybody says something about, well, it's expensive. I said, sell, go out and sell. I said, I don't pay for my products. My products are all paid for, and with money left over. So, and I know I've used more of my 5 minutes, so I will turn it over back to y'all and Emily, and you can introduce the next person.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, thank you so much, June, for sharing. That was such an incredible story. Those do not get old, just hearing those incredible stories. My name is Nicole Kinzler. I am a Diamond Ambassador of Plexus, and I am just honored just to share a little bit of my story with you. I am married to Andrew. We've been married for 13 years. We've got 3 kids, 7, 9, and 11, so my life is really crazy. But my journey with Plexus started 4.5 years ago when I, probably like a lot of you guys, saw on Facebook a friend post about this amazing pink drink. And when my friend started listing some of the things she was struggling with, I could identify with them. And so I quickly ordered as a customer. I was a customer for a couple months and then quickly realized that I wasn't going to go a day without these products. And so I joined as an ambassador right away to get my products at the cheapest price. Y'all, I was struggling with daily headaches. I was struggling with just energy. Struggling with sleeping at night. I had weight to lose. Y'all, there were so many different things out there. I'm not sure if any of you mamas could identify. We always put ourselves on the back burner, and I was ready just to say, okay, it's time for me to invest in myself. So I joined as an ambassador. My husband at the time was in school doing prereqs to be a dentist. And so money was tight, so he said, hey, let's see if we can get your products paid for. So that's kind of how my journey started. And y'all, 6 months later, we found out that he got accepted into dental school, that we were moving. And so the stay-at-home mama was going to have to find a way to provide for our family. And it's so cool how God goes before us and knows exactly what we need when we need it. By the time we moved to Memphis, I had been with Plexus for a year. And at that time, I had matched what my husband was making in lighting design for 13 years. And so God just really provided for our family in an incredible way. Not only have I been able to provide financially for our family, I'm able to put him through dental school, which is incredible, but also just God knew, I love to give and give abundantly. And it has allowed me to give in ways that I could never have imagined. And it's just fun to see how, when you're blessed, to be a blessing and to be able to pass that on. And also just these amazing products and how they've not just changed my life, but my family's life. And it's just been neat to see his provision for us. So that's just a little bit about my story. But it has been a fun journey, a fun ride. I have made so many incredible friends, and I would, looking back in the last 4.5 years, would do it all over again if it was just for the friendships. I have just so loved the friendships. And I do want to say something real quick. So if you're sitting out there and you're thinking, she probably has done network marketing before, or she's done something in the past and she was made for this. I am here to tell you, I had done one other network marketing company before. I had one party, failed miserably, had no intentions of doing Plexus or selling anything or doing any network marketing company again. And guys, what I realized was when I started Plexus and really researching network marketing, y'all, it is about building relationships. It is not about selling. It's about sharing your heart. It's about sharing what you're passionate about. And if you would have asked anybody that knew me before Plexus, if this is what God was going to use me for, they probably would have laughed, because I am far from a salesperson. But I am passionate about Plexus. I'm passionate about sharing my heart. And it's been fun to be on this journey. So thank you for letting me share a little bit of my story. I think I'm going to pass it on to Breanna.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Breanna. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay. I have been using the Plexus products for 2 years now, and I seriously don't want to go a day without them. A little bit about myself. I'm a wife and a mom of 3, ages 5, 3, and then 2 months old. I'm also a registered nurse, and I've worked at a rehabilitation hospital for 11 years now. And when I say rehab, a lot of people think, drug and alcohol rehab, but it's actually not. It's patients that have had strokes or heart or brain injuries. And different surgeries, just to gain back their strength before they go home. And it's just so rewarding seeing all those people come back, after a couple of weeks from healing and all their therapy sessions. But what I noticed is that so many people, so many of my patients, probably over 95%, have other health problems too, whether it's obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune issues, asthma, etc. The list goes on and on. Many of these diagnoses are what actually led them to the place where they are now, and being sick and being in the hospital again. So this has made me so much more passionate about preventative health. And I certainly don't want my friends or family members kind of going through that same path that a lot of my patients have gone through. So back to my story about Plexus. After my second child was born, I was in just kind of a weird funk. I'd have daily headaches. I couldn't get enough sugar. I just had sugar cravings like crazy. Couldn't get the last 10 pounds of my baby weight to fall off. I had brain fog and could not wait until the kids were in bed so that I could go to bed. While running errands, I would frequently go through drive-thrus for Diet Cokes and sugary coffee drinks. It was very unhealthy. Although it seemed like maybe that was just normal, once you have 2 kids at home, 2 very small kids. But my sweet friend, Becca, messaged me one day about Plexus, and I was very skeptical, like really, really skeptical. And I was definitely thinking I was going to have to use that 60-day guarantee. But knowing Becca, she had already done a ton of research and shared some of the findings on each of the products, and I was just blown away. These were high quality natural supplements that focus on getting to the root of the problem. So within the first week of me being on the triplex, when I started trying them, I had so much more energy, no longer needed naps. Diet Coke tasted terrible now. My sugar cravings were gone, and I lost those annoying last 10 pounds within just 2 months. And so I felt like I just had my old self back, and I was a better wife and a better mom. And so maybe you're skeptical like I was, or maybe you just don't know much about the products. What are the products? So I mentioned a minute ago that I took the triplex, and Plexus actually has 18 products in our lineup now, but these 3 specifically are the triplex, and they're the kind of our cornerstone products, and such a great starting point for most people. They're super easy to use and to incorporate into busy schedules. So the first one here is our Plexus Slim, and it comes in a package like this, and it reminds me of Crystal Light, but the good thing is it's clean, it's natural, it's plant-based. There is no caffeine or stimulants, and then also no artificial sweeteners. And it easily fits into a busy day. You simply just pour the powder into a cup or a bottle of water and shake it, and there you go, there's your pink drink. And you just drink that 1 time a day before a meal, and that rebalances your whole body. It rebalances your blood sugars, you're feeding the good bacteria in your gut. You are detoxifying and reducing inflammation. You're curbing your carb cravings. You're maintaining healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. And when you balance your blood sugars, insulin is our master hormone, and so that helps all of the other hormones kind of come into regulation. So how many of us know somebody that has imbalanced hormones? Probably just about everybody. So anyway, Slim is just taken typically once a day, although you can take it twice. And yeah, like I said, you just take it once before a meal. Then at bedtime, you're going to take our probiotic. And this one is not refrigerated. So if you know much about probiotics, this may seem worrisome to you. But these have an enteric coating, which help them make it all the way down to the small intestine before they open up and get to work. So at night, your gut is slow, you aren't using the restroom. So that means that the 5 beneficial strains of bacteria in this really get to work in your gut. Also, it has some key antifungal enzymes in it that really attack the yeast. It's okay for us to have a little bit of yeast in our gut, but research has shown lately that yeast is tied to so many autoimmune issues and allergies and asthma, depression and anxiety, ADD, so many things. So I am not saying that Plexus cures or prevents any disease, but it certainly helps when you have good gut health, to be healthier and to hopefully get rid of those things. And so why we need good gut health, obviously immunity. Most of our immune system is actually found in our gut. Nutrient absorption, our mood, and then also sleep. And there's so much more that, like I said, is tied to the gut. So yeah, we need all these things in a good state so that we can lead good, healthy lives. So if we're fighting off the bad bacteria and yeast and other toxins in our gut, you don't want these toxins just kind of sitting there. And so you need to get it gently out of our system. And that's where the BioCleanse comes in. Magnesium tends to be the best way to kind of flush things through your system. And so this is actually an oxygenated magnesium that sweeps those toxins out very gently. Don't worry, it's not a laxative. You don't have to quit your job. But also with the certain ingredients that they have, you'll be aging backwards because your collagen production is amped up with these ingredients. So yeah, these 3 products together are very affordable. They can help you get your life back like it did mine and so many thousands of other people. I shared about the beginning of my story earlier, but now I've had my 3rd pregnancy and I got approval from my OB to use the products during pregnancy. And it was so much different and better than my other 2 pregnancies by leaps and bounds. I didn't fail my glucose test this time. I didn't take a huge dip in iron like I usually do. My blood pressure wasn't high. I had enough energy to pack up our house and move in the last couple months of pregnancy. I also didn't have all the crazy cravings and didn't gain a ton of weight and no kinkles. So it was awesome. And now that my daughter is here, I am not a low milk producer this time where I have been in the past, and I know that my baby is getting enough. I don't have to supplement. So these products are incredible, you guys. And the health problems that you're experiencing today, whether they're big, like a life-changing stroke or autoimmune disease, or maybe small, maybe you're just really tired, they don't have to be and shouldn't be your normal. There is a better way and a more natural way. So thank you for letting me share. I could go on all day long probably, but I'll pass it on to Emily now.
Awesome. Thanks, Breanna. I love your credibility with you being a nurse and you're so research-minded, and I really, really love that. So my name is Emily Burgess, and I am married to an amazing man. He works for a nonprofit ministry up here in Boise, Idaho. We have 2 beautiful, crazy, active, keeps us on our toes, 3- and 5-year-old daughters. So 4 years ago, I was living in Colorado with my husband and our first child, Hendon, and my friend from college, her name is Tamara, she messaged me and she said, hey, I want you to send me your home address. I'm going to send you some samples of this product that I'm taking, and it's been amazing for my health. I want you to try it. And I was like, okay. So she sent it to me. And I got it, and you guys, I just threw it in the trash. I didn't even look at it. I just threw it in the trash because I'm the weird one that I didn't want to do birth control because I wasn't really sure what I was putting in my body, but I was totally okay to eat scoops and scoops of ice cream and chips and queso and stuff like that. But when it came to supplements, no way. So I just threw it in the trash, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Well, over time, over the past couple of years, so many of my girlfriends from college, and these are not strangers, these are my friends that I love and I trust and I respect deeply, they started to post about Plexus. And again, it was just kind of eye roll for me, like it is probably a lot of people, but they started to post about their health results, their health experiences that they were having through the Plexus products. What mom who's just birthed out 2 babies who feels like a fluffy marshmallow when they hear natural weight loss, their ears don't perk up, So that's what I heard first, weight loss, natural. So that kind of got me curious. But then I also started to hear people talk about no longer feeling fatigued and just like longing for your kids' nap time and longing for bedtime so you can go to sleep, like Breanna was saying. Like they were saying they were no longer having that fatigue anymore. Migraine relief, sciatic nerve relief, sinus infection relief, seasonal allergies were no longer an issue. Stomach issues were no longer an issue. Like they started posting about that stuff. And I fell into so many of those categories with my health. Well, then the same people started posting about their financial situations changing for the better. And with my husband being in the ministry, that also kind of perked my ears. I mean, again, these are my friends that are talking about how they were able to pay off their vehicle loans. They were able to pay off like massive, massive amounts of student debt, like $100,000 within a year, being able to pay that off. They were talking about how they were able to quit their full-time job and stay at home to be with their children because their paycheck with Plexus was 2 times the amount that they were making with their full-time job, where they were working 50 hours a week. I had friends that were able to purchase bigger homes for their growing family in their dream neighborhood in the school district that they had just been praying and dreaming of being able to live in one day. They were able to actually make that happen. Friends that were able to support more to their ministries and missionaries that they were just passionate about. Friends that were able to give more to their friends and their family and just pay it forward to strangers. And again, with us being in the ministry, like we've always been on the receiving end, and our heart's desire is to be able to be on the giving end. And so that again was something that was really attractive to me. Well, it wasn't until last year this time when I found myself diving into 2 bowls of, like the frozen character marshmallow cereal things that are just like covered in sugar. Well, I had eaten 2 huge bowls of those for breakfast, and I had like chocolate smeared all over my face from the Reese's peanut butter pumpkins from Halloween. After I realized that I'd eaten multiple of those with my 2 bowls of cereal, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a serious problem here. I cannot control my sugar cravings. I feel disgusting. I've got to do something. And so after, again, seeing so many of my friends who I love and trust and seeing so many of their doctors approving them to use the product, I reached out to Tamara, the girl who sent me those samples that I threw away, and she so graciously gave me 2 months worth of the triplex that Breanna was talking about. It's thebomb.com, the best product in the world for everybody. I totally believe that. So I got on the product reluctantly. I did not want to love it because I did not want to be a salesperson. Again, the eye roll. I did not want to be that person. But after 2 months of my really bad stomach issues no longer being an issue, I am from a family of insomniacs. And so sleep was a huge struggle for me. And that was no longer a struggle. I was sleeping deeper than I'd ever slept in my entire life. I was beginning to lose weight. My stomach didn't look like a baked potato. Do you guys ever feel like that with your stomachs, like kind of looking like a baked potato? That's how I felt. But my stomach was getting flatter, I felt like. I wasn't as fatigued. My mood was getting better. And so after 2 months of doing it, I was like, well, shoot, I'm going to have to be an ambassador so I can get the cheapest prices and I can get my products paid for, because we couldn't afford any extra expense. So my husband and I prayed and prayed and prayed. We wrote out a detailed pro and con list, and we prayed some more. And we felt a peace about moving forward. And that was in January. Here we are 10 months later. I've never once had to pay out of pocket for my products, my husband's products, or my daughter's products. They've been covered every single month. My team has grown from like 1 person to over 100 people. And the stories that I hear from my team members will bring you to tears. Like, it's beautiful and amazing. And it's just been so fulfilling too. So not only is my health feeling better, but I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm able to contribute financially to my family. And that's another thing, is I was able to quit my part-time job where I was working with Young Life this summer, because Plexus, I'm earning 4 times the amount that I was earning with with Young Life. And it's been huge. So anyways, that's my story in a nutshell. It's been amazing for our family financially and in a health way. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to pass it off to Colleen. You got to unmute yourself.
There we go. All right. Good. Hey, I am coming to you from actually the Lexus dealership here in Boise. I just finished up with another Plexus meeting where we had so many people share about testimonies and how Plexus has truly just impacted their life. And so I'm sitting in my car because we kind of finished a little late, but I just wanted to thank everybody for jumping on to this tonight. It is truly a joy to come and to do this with this group of people and to be a part of this. And so thanks. And if you have any questions, just connect with the person that invited you on this call, and they would love to share anything you have about Plexus and answer any of your questions. And I also think that most of us that have invited people are offering a little side incentive to help you get started. You know, Emily was truly blessed by Tamara gifting her some of those products that helped her actually financially be able to do that. So incentives sometimes, you know, I mean, like how often do we like buy something because we get something free, or we buy something because it's $5 off or $10 off? You know, sometimes we don't even think about it. We just think, oh, I'm saving $5. So it's like, so check with your ambassador that invited you. And thanks everybody so much for coming on tonight. All right. Bye-bye.